Thanks for staying with us. Now, government will not bail out Men's Gold in a bid to bring relief to the thousands of frustrated customers whose funds have been locked up following the shutdown of operations of the gold dealership firm. That's the categorical statement coming from Information Minister today. It comes at the back of several appeals by the customers for the president to intervene in their plight. Already, the Bank of Ghana is insistent it will not intervene in the customer situation, saying they ignored warnings issued them last year. As you know, an Accra Circuit Court has issued a warrant for the arrest of Men's Gold CEO Nana Appiah Mensah. In a statement released earlier Thursday, Information Minister Kojo Ponkruma also assured the state security agencies will employ all the powers required to find persons found culpable in the Men's Gold saga, including Nana Appiah Mensah, also called NAM1. We will hear from the Information Minister shortly. But now, my colleague Gifty Appiah joins me in the studio with a copy of that statement by the Information Ministry. Gifty, it's quite a lengthy statement, but run us through some of the issues raised in it.
Very well. So, Araba, I have here in my hands a 4-page statement that is titled Government Position on the Men's Gold Saga. And what it does is ostensibly is to further explain the concerns or the responses that we've had from the Bank of Ghana. So this is what I'm going to do. It basically sets the record straight. That's what this document seeks to do. It basically sets the record straight as far as the regulation and the regulation of the activities of Men's Gold is concerned. It goes on to speak about the warnings it issued and the responses that came from the customers based on the warnings that it received from government. And then it goes on to make the point that you made in the intro. So I'm going to start the 6 pointers. I'm going to start with the very final 2, which speaks to what you just indicated. So let me read verbatim. It says that's point 5. Now, while government sympathizes with customers on the difficulties encountered in their transaction with the company, it says the state cannot and will not resort to the use of taxpayers' money to refund customers' money. So that's the 5th point. The 6th point, it says that government wishes to inform the general public that the security agencies, having received reports from customers that they believe they have been defrauded by false pretenses, shall employ all the powers of the state to find the accused persons, investigate the allegations, and ensure that the law takes its course on the matter. I must say, interestingly, though, about that, the 5th point, yesterday we had some of the customers speak to us and they said that, look, we're not looking for your sympathy. Even though government is saying that we sympathize with them, some of the people say we're not looking for your sympathy, but government has made it clear now that taxpayers' money will not be used to pay anybody.
Of course, the statement also makes reference to the Bank of Ghana's actions in all of this.
Exactly. So let me go to that now, and that will be found in the first 4 points, I think. Now, let me begin here. It says that it must be put on record that the regulators of our nation's financial services, namely the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchanges Commission, had on numerous occasions over the years warned customers of Men's Gold. And I'm going to flip quickly to go forward to the next paragraph. So it says that the aftermath of this has seen the company reneging on its contractual obligations to its customers, resulting in demonstrations by the customers. And it says this on the back that all of these warnings that were issued by the agencies, the regulatory agencies, were not heeded to by the customers. It says that indeed some of the customers have called on government to refund, and this is these are premises, you know, to get to the conclusion that we will not pay. It says that indeed some of the customers are calling on us as government to, in fact, look for their money, look for their gold, refund the gold, or pay them the money commensurate. But it says that government will not do that. Let me go to the second point, Araba. It says that actually the first point said that Men's Gold was not licensed by Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Unlike DKM, for example, which is a financial institution, DKM was registered, and so its activities were regulated by these regulatory institutions. Unlike DKM and the banks which government rescued, Men's Gold was not a registered financial institution, and in that case, it says that in the case of Men's Gold, it's operated as a trading company and falls outside the scope of the regulator's intervention. On that case, it said, on that score, it says that government does not have the legal obligation to pay back the monies to the customers.
All right. Thank you so much, Gifty Appiah, with details of that statement.
But I need to, I need to put this in quickly because there was a part where they indicated that the president had no endorsement, that the president has not endorsed the activities or the so-called success story of Nana Appiah, and the government thought that it's important for them to chip that in quickly. So that point is there. It says that the picture which is circulating on social media where you see Nana Appiah at the Flagstaff House was an occasion where the then president of GFA, Kwesi Nyantakyi, had gone to the Flagstaff, the Jubilee House with the CAF president because he was going to be honored in Ghana. And that was the only occasion where he had joined the team because Xylophone was sponsoring the league at the time.
Very well. Thank you, sir. And we will come to that issue. But speaking of the regulators, Information Minister Kojo Ponkrumah has backed the central bank's decision not to offer any form of intervention to customers of Men's Gold. He says the company was not licensed by the Bank of Ghana, as we indicated earlier, so the law would not permit the bank to repay the aggrieved customers. He spoke earlier on News Desk.
I think the point needs to be made over and over again that when, as far back as 2014, the regulatory agencies, namely the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission, noticed that the practices of this organization were similar to deposits or asset-taking institutions, they did two things. They issued an alert that they suspect that they are taking deposits or assets, and that persons should not take deposits or assets there. At that time, the customers of these organizations said no, they were not taking deposits and assets there, and that they were giving this organization money. This was a trading organization that they were giving money to purchase a commodity, hold that commodity, sell that commodity, and then repay the amount that they had deposited or made available to them, plus a share of the profit to them. The Bank of Ghana at that time, therefore, did not have the legal power to do anything because customers and the company had both explained trading and not deposit taking. I am very sure that if any one of them had, honestly told the Bank of Ghana that indeed this company was taking their deposits, the Bank of Ghana would be seized with the material fact to intervene. Bank of Ghana gave those alerts, commenced their own investigation, but as you heard the Deputy Governor say on your own platform, there was no transparency. They could not see into it. And the people in the contractors and the customers in the company kept giving the answers to the Bank of Ghana that it was a trading transaction. Today, the people involved in the contract are now saying that, yes, they gave monies to this company to buy gold, but they are neither getting their gold nor their money. And therefore, they've made reports that they have been defrauded by false pretenses. And it becomes a matter that the security agencies therefore now have to take up and take through the investigative processes and get resolution to. I noticed that some persons are saying that the Bank of Ghana should repay their monies to them. And the Bank of Ghana has explained that to the extent that this is not an institution licensed by the Bank of Ghana, unlike, for example, in the case of DKM or even in the case of some of the banks that have had challenges, because they were registered under Act 930, the Bank of Ghana could repay their monies to them. In this instance, the law does not allow the Bank of Ghana to do that. And I think the customers have taken the appropriate legal route by reporting to the security agencies, who have therefore proceeded to trigger an alert to find the person and to commence an investigation on what has happened with these transactions that they contracted to do.
Now, as you know, there is a manhunt for the Chief Executive Officer of Men's Gold, Nana Appiah Mensah, after an across-circuit court issued a warrant for his arrest on Wednesday. Interpol has been alerted in all 194 countries to arrest him for defrauding by false pretense and money laundering. Although Joy News checks on the Interpol's website does not find Nana Appiah Mensah's name in the wanted list, CID boss Mamiya Tiwa Adodanko says there is a 100% chance Nana Appiah Mensah will be arrested in the nearest future. While officials of Men's Gold are tight-lipped on the whereabouts of their boss, Nana Appiah is Deputy Public Relations Officer for Men's Gold, and he tells my colleague MFR Peu that NAM1 has not abandoned his clients. According to him, the Men's Gold CEO is outside the country to get money to pay frustrated customers.
Operated for 5 years. We paid equitably consistently for 5 years. We have challenges this last year and this year. Does it mean that because we are having challenges, then we are a Ponzi scheme?
It looks like the company facing challenges, then all of a sudden your CEO has abandoned you. Is that not the case?
What do you mean the CEO has abandoned us? Did you say that he has abandoned us, or have you heard any management member say that our CEO has abandoned us?
So at least, so you've heard from him then?
No, you are saying that he's abandoned, and he has not.
He has not. So you've heard from your CEO in recent times, at least this year.
All CEOs of
he's traveled. He's traveled to where?
He has traveled.
Where is he traveled to?
He has what?
Where is he traveled to?
He has traveled outside the shores of Ghana, and it is working to make sure that he gets money to come and pay our customers.
He's traveled outside the shores. I'm listening.
Is the money here? Can we get the money here?
You should tell me. Your customers want to know. He hasn't abandoned you. We've heard from some celebrities, those that he signed, for instance. Even the security operatives in this country are looking for him. And we haven't heard any word from him, and you say he hasn't abandoned the company. No, he's just traveled to work. So when will he be back? When will he be back?
The bench warrant has been issued, isn't it? Right? A bench warrant has been issued.
Is a warrant? Yeah, is a warrant that has been issued.
The warrant has been issued.
Because they couldn't find him. That's why they've issued the warrant.
The reason why they issued the warrant was because, according to the police, they need him to answer certain questions. So the police will do its work. So let's allow the police to work.
Well, we now know Men's Gold has been left with no option but to return to the negotiation table with the Securities and Exchange Commission. That is, if they have any intentions of resuming operations. This follows an Accra High Court's dismissal of a case seeking to block SEC and the Bank of Ghana from regulating its activities. The company in September 2018 initiated the legal action against the two regulatory bodies, demanding that they are slapped with damages for hurting the business. The court today turned down the request. There's more in the following report.
The gold dealership in its suit filed against the Bank of Ghana and the Securities and Exchange Commission raised a number of issues. Key amongst them was to ask the court to rule that the two institutions did not have the power to regulate its business because of the nature of the business they were running. They didn't think that those institutions had the power to direct them to halt operations because they did not have a license for the gold trading activity they were engaged in. You'll recall that the Securities and Exchange Commission in September 2018 wrote to the company asking that it halt its gold trading operations because it's bordered on an unlicensed activity, and for which reason they cannot continue with it. The company had publicly blamed the institution for its failure to pay dividends to its members. They then proceeded to the court, asking, among other things, that the court also slapped the two institutions with damages for what they described as their business being hurt by the directive released by the two institutions, especially the Securities and Exchange Commission. But the lawyers for the Securities and Exchange Commission made an application saying that it was important for the gold dealership to exhaust internal dispute resolution mechanisms. So first, if they disagree with any regulatory agency in terms of its work, it was appropriate for them to engage them, and that engagement was actually ongoing just at the point which the company decided to sue the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, Justice Amoah in her ruling agreed with SEC that indeed it was important for that engagement to have been exhausted before the case was filed at the court. So the case was dismissed. So what it means is that, as it stands, there's no pending case between the Securities and Exchange Commission, Bank of Ghana, and gold dealership Men's Gold. So the court has dismissed the case filed by Men's Gold against the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Bank of Ghana.
Right, so how did we get here? Here's a news desk report chronicling the story so far on the Men's Gold saga.
They hit the streets many times, demanding their locked-up investments.
I want the government to intervene and force Nana Appiah Mensah to pay us back our hard-earned principal.
I can't even sleep. I can't sleep. My case is becoming a police case.
a police case because orphanage money is involved. They should give us our money.
This was in sharp contrast with the position they had just 5 months back when the regulatory agencies issued warnings that the mysterious gold trading could not continue. But this has all got a history. It all started in October 2014 when investigations by the central bank uncovered a financial institution operating under the guise of microfinance at Kaswa in the central region. Men's Bank was its name, and it claimed it traded in gold. The name would later change to Men's Bank Ghana Company Limited, this time ending with a C instead of a K, and then later got the name Men's Gold. The suspicion around the operation of the company started when it claimed on its website that it was an affiliate of Switzerland-based firm Swiss Gold Global. Joy News checks by Manasseh Azuriawene, however, revealed this was false. In July 2018, the CEO of Men's Gold, Nana Appiah Mensah, revealed the firm had opened an office in London. But again, our checks revealed a different kind of operation was going on there. Within about 5 years of its operation, the company clashed with the Precious Minerals Marketing Company after it announced its license had expired. The Bank of Ghana waded into the controversy, warning investors to desist from handing deposits to the company. The Securities and Exchange Commission then went in to halt its operations. But Men's Gold would fight back, going to court.
Number one is not above the law. If he's doing something that is not good, that's to arrest him and bring him. Number one is not above the law.
As the demand for his arrest gained traction, news was rife that he has simply absconded beyond the shores of Ghana. In the last 24 hours, the police has announced it's tried without success to locate and arrest Nam 1.
We are aware that Nana Appiah Mensah is not in Ghana. So we have started the process of letting Interpol put him in the red notice.
And now, an arrest warrant has been issued. The aggrieved customers are excited, but equally cautious.
I was very, very elated, except that in Ghana, sometimes the leader, they start something and just for you to feel that they're about to do it, but they end up slipping. So all we're asking for is for them to start it from this moment and then conclude it.
Lawyer Amanda Clinton, who represents some of these customers, had another concern.
You know, my fear that there was a very sophisticated money laundering operation underway.
Which now the CID is confirming.
Confirmed, because we had reports from our insiders that they were asking traders within Ghana that they would buy their goods abroad and basically pick up the money in Accra. So they'll pick up the cash in Accra and then pay for it through an international account.
And the worst case scenario?
And the worst case scenario is that we won't have enough assets to actually share amongst everyone.
The search for the man already christened Ghana's most wanted continues unabated. And attention is equally on his wife, Rose Tete, and sister Benedicta Appiah, who were believed to be directors of Men's Gold. But how soon will the relevant agencies lay hands on them and locate the millions of cedis in his gold? Well, bank vault.
Well, let's jog your memory further and let's take you through the timeline of events step by step. So, in October 2014, central bank investigations uncover a financial institution operating under the guise of microfinance at Kaswa under the name Men's Bank. It claimed it traded in gold. The name changed to Men's Bank Ghana Company Limited, ending with a C instead of a K, and finally Men's Gold. In 2017, the Bank of Ghana warned investors to desist from making deposits to Men's Gold. In 2018, Men's Gold clashes with the Precious Minerals Marketing Company after announcing its license had expired 5 years into its operations. In 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission stopped Men's Gold from dealing in gold collectibles. The company went to court that the Securities and Exchange Commission had no business to interfere in its operations. In August 2018, Men's Gold was unable to pay back dividends owed customers. Customers and other stakeholders demanded his arrest. In early January 2019, news was rife that Nana Appiah Mensah had absconded the shores of Ghana. On January 8, 2019, aggrieved customers in Kumasi staged a demonstration as the police arrested 7 for 2 offences. They were granted bail the same day. On January 9, 2019, CID announced efforts to arrest Nam1 yields little results or success. Police secures court order for his arrest. Red alert is triggered in 194 Interpol countries to assist with the location and arrest of Nana Appiah Mensah, his wife Rose Tete, and sister Benedicta Appiah, who are believed to be directors of Men's Gold. And on January 10, 2019, that's today, the court threw out the Men's Gold's case against the Securities and Exchange Commission.